Alright guys, now in this video I'm going to be breaking down the tight offset tight end formation out of the Carolina playbook. Now for those of you that watched the last video where I broke down the single back tight slots formation, you know that this playbook in general is fantastic at making quick, easy reads no matter what your opponent is in. This should lead you to having high passing percentages. It's more of a dink and dunk style offense with big play potential, as it is to trying to throw the ball downfield all the time. But now we're going to get into the other stuff, in this case, the tight offset tight end, and we're going to break down how we can even more so between good runs and quick, easy passes. So I'm coming out in just random tight slots formation, and for this purpose, I'm going to come out in a zone coverage, just a standard cover 3. So we always are going to come out in the single back tight slots when we want to run a 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 running back scheme. But our audibles are very quick, and you can see the transition from single back slots to the tight offset tight end is very quick and easy. So your opponent is not going to have enough time to set up for the great passing plays that we have in under center, as well as the dominant run plays being the 0-1 trap and the inside zone at a shotgun. Not only are we going to mix those in, we also have great passing plays that are going to utilize that same glitchy little out route that we love out of the PA Panthers post play. So you'll see that the route that we love on that play is the X receiver. On the play drive out, which is our man play, we have the same route as the X receiver, as well as the play PA seams, which is actually our zone beater. So getting into the run plays first, the 0-1 trap, as you guys are well aware, is designed to go up the middle or to the right-hand side of the field, whereas the inside zone is designed to go up the middle or slightly off tackle to the left. So although that they look pretty identical as far as where they're designed to go, they actually work perfect together. So you'll see 0-1 trap, designed to go up the middle to the right. Always a good play, especially if somebody's trying to user the defensive tackle. And then inside zone, as we audible up to it, this is designed to go off tackle to the left or to the outside, depending on if you have a speed back or not. So they work really well together. So I'm not going to focus too much on those. You guys are well aware. 0-1 traps, if they are in anything that has less than 3 defensive linemen or is not crashed down, is a fantastic run. The only other thing that kind of stops it is if your opponent has more than 3 people lined up, like linebackers, on the right-hand side of the field. So if you start seeing that, one thing you could always do is while you're under center and you want to quick hike these, simply come out in the play flipped, audible up, and now you have all your runs opposite. So it doesn't allow, at that point, it doesn't allow your opponent to key in on the 0-1 trap. But anyways, back to the passing plays, which I'm going to break down now. As I mentioned already, the main passing plays we use are going to be the drive out and the play PA seams. Drive out is our man beater, PA seams is our zone beater, and both plays have really quick setups. We're going to focus on PA seams first. Now, PA seams, we essentially create a makeshift screen going to the right-hand side of the field. Now, to do so, you have 2 options. You either flat route the running back to that side of the field, as you see right here. And what's going to happen is if they're in any sort of a zone, you see that you can throw the running back and pick up 3, 5, 10 yards, even more, depending on. And it's all because of the fade route and that 4 vert concepts that we have over here on the right. So you see that the flat zone that is supposed to be guarding the flats is now, at this point, 20 yards downfield, or 10, 15 yards downfield, which allows us to pick up nice, easy yards and a high percentage throw. Do the same thing here. Show it one more time. Now, the way that we actually run this is we'll flat route the running back to the right, and then we'll take this receiver on this little glitchy route and motion him to the outside. What that does is it creates just a quick, simple pass to the left, which is going to make our opponent have to guard that. Obviously, if they are guarding the left, they simply cannot guard the right, and if they start making too many adjustments, that's when we will be able to hit these other routes. If they are in a cover 2 defense, as I'll show you right here, they come out in a cover 2. So let's see, where's cover 2? So if they're in a cover 2, our read will then progress to watching that right-hand corner. If they guard the running back, we throw a pass lead to the outside on the wheel route. We also have the corner route on the left as he breaks to the outside. So you'll see that he dropped back right there. So you're pretty much, like I said, you're reading him. If he drops back, then you throw to the running back, just like we always do. If he doesn't drop back, then we know we have that guy wide open. So you see, even in the cover 2, he drops back. I actually threw that a little bit too late, so I only picked up a few yards. I'm going to throw one more time so I can show you how it will look. So as soon as he drops back, you can typically just throw it right to the flats. Now, Cortland Finnegan is playing mind games with me, so you have to be aware of that. Like I said, that's really the only person you're reading is that outside corner. You can also, if you want to, if you see him kind of bite down, you can roll out a little bit to that side, as I just got screamed at, and you'll be able to hit that wheel route with a lot more success. It also happens better if you throw it to that side of the field. So if you're on the right hash mark, they tend to play the running back a lot more, leaving the wheel route, I'm getting screamed at, wide open for the touchdown. So I'll show you right here what I'm talking about. So you see that he drops back slightly, but as that running back gets out there, he will leave this receiver and jump down on the running back. When he does that, you tend to have this route wide open down the sideline. Like I said, I was getting screamed at, so it's hard to show right now in practice mode, but that is the read that you want to use. But the other setup that we use is to block the running back and drag the wide receiver. What that does is it creates the same little 4 verts concept, except now, regardless of what your opponent is in, whether it be a cover 2, a cover 3, it doesn't. As long as they're not in man coverage, you have that drag route that's going to be open versus everything. The one thing to note, if you are going to leave that play action, either run it all the way through and throw the pass, or block the running back. Don't try to cancel the play action, as a lot of times the running back will sack the quarterback. So that is pretty much the only time I run that play is when I'm trying to hit one of those 2 makeshift screens. They are very effective, and they will force your opponent out of zone defenses. And so now we'll get into the play drive out, which is our man beater. Now, the setup is very simple. You can leave it as is and just hike the ball, or you can slant route the receiver that is on the left, as I'm about to show you. So we'll come out, let's see, cover 1. So drive out, like I said, you can leave it as is. You still want to utilize the motion guy on the left, so pretty much you see quick pass, doesn't really matter what your opponent is in. It's always going to be there for the most part. And then you'll get into the other reads. So motion them out, you'll see that you have this corner out. Typically, as soon as they break on the left-hand side, so as soon as they make a break, you simply throw a pass down into the outside. That corner actually played it perfectly. Back-to-back plays, surprisingly. If that's a linebacker, or in most cases, I don't know why Randall Cobb is getting boxed, but he is. But try it one more time. It may be a practice mode thing. Yeah, so corner's playing him pretty well. You know, all of the routes on the field beat man coverage, though. So you have the drag route. You also have the route that is ran by the tight end. And the other setup is to simply block the running back and slant the slot receiver. So now you're creating pretty much just a cross in the field. You have the slant that's going to be wide open. You also have the drag route and the in route coming across the field, as well as the motioned out route. So between the very quick, simple passing plays, the drive out NPA seams, as well as the as well as the running plays, you'll see that this is a great complementary scheme. Not necessarily something that I feel you can run all game long, but definitely something that you can pretty much run. Um, that the corner route is getting boxed for whatever reason. I don't really know why. It's probably just the way that they're lined up in practice mode. So make sure you're aware. But as you see here, everything else on the play drive out gets open if you slant them. So that's another good read. The runs are fantastic, and now we will get into our other formations we love, like the gun trips tight end scheme.